director for Disneyland Park. I think I've met a few of you before, but if not, very nice to meet you. Welcome to the opening of Lewis's Critter Club. We're really excited to have you here to see what it is we've cooked up for our guests. This is the second of two stores that we're are celebrating. Pardon me, the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. The first being Race Berets. I hope you all had a chance to enjoy that over the last week or so. And this is the partner store for it. That's the store at the entry, of course, and this, of course, is the store at the exit. We start our story here, and I'll be walking through a little bit of the story that we're sharing here at Critter Club before we go in. So, of course, as you come off of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, the first thing we want you to see is our awesome new Lewis's Critter Club marquee. He's spinning that trumpet on his finger like one of my favorite scenes from the movie. And you'll start noticing around the outside of this shop, we've got various posters from the critters that play in the band that we just met in Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So you'll see characters that you get a glimpse of, but we want you to know a little bit better. Characters like Mondo, he's the big bullfrog in there that plays on the bongos, and Claude and Bernadette, they're the bears from the inside. We'll get to see a little bit more of them as we go in. What was important to us, though, in the development of Lewis's Critter Club was getting to know those characters better, because there's a really great cast of characters that aren't from the movie. They're exclusive to Tiana's Bayou Adventure that we want the kids to really get to know and love. And because you just get a brief glance at them, or a glance at them in a couple times at the attraction, this is an opportunity to get to know them a lot better. So Lewis's Critter Club is just exactly that. It's the coolest jazz club you can imagine, celebrating the music from the attraction, but also celebrating the characters that make those music, which is this great cast of critters that we just met off the attraction. So around the outside of the building, we can kind of shimmy over here, you'll see we've got a great complement of those posters. They wrap around the outside as well. So what these posters do is they celebrate this large group of animals that play in the Bayou Community Band, but not just as the Bayou Community Band, because that's when they're playing all together. But they also do performances as trios, quartets, just smaller groups. And when they do that, they celebrate the concerts with the posters that we have featured along the outside. When we get inside the venue, you're going to see albums on the walls that will actually be supporting these concerts that they played at. Maybe it was an album that they recorded at that concert. Maybe the concert is supporting the album they made. So it's a lot of fun interplay between the artwork we have on the outside and what you're going to see when we get on the inside. One last thing before we go in. Upstairs, we have our performers only area. That's the green room for the performances that would be going on during the evenings, where our critter characters can relax. You'll see some of their musical instruments up there. That's where they get their fan mail. It's just a fun place for the characters to relax when they're not performing. So with that, I think we're going to make our way into the building and see what there is to see in Lewis's Critter Club. So you can take note as you come walking in. These are some of those albums I was talking about. You'll see them throughout the room. Again, celebrating those characters, reintroducing the characters' names of the critters that play those musical instruments in a very fun way. I'll give everyone a chance to come on into the space. And if it's possible, I'm going to go off mic once everyone's inside, because I think we're in a small enough space you should be able to hear me. But I'll verify that before I turn it off. Okay, get everyone to take a few steps in so we can get the whole group in. Thank you. So now that we're inside the Critter Club, some of the stuff I was talking about with those posters outside that are in a bit of a story conversation with the albums that you'll see scattered around the room. As I mentioned before, we really want to celebrate those critters. So what you have here is a place that would be very critter friendly. You'll notice the hanging moss, the magnolia garlands, very friendly to the critters that would be performing on the stage behind you. But in this first portion of the room, you can see evidence of the type of musical instruments that those critters would be making. A lot of homemade stuff, a lot of found musical instruments. They're the same kind of musical instruments that the critters are playing in the attraction itself. We actually worked with the Imagineering team from Glendale that worked on the attraction and designed those musical instruments for the critters, and we scaled them down for our critters to use in the shop as well. So it was a great partnership. We had a lot of fun developing that and making it. You will even see that one of our new underground sleeper popular character is Larry the Armadillo. Although he doesn't have a musical instrument, he's a bit of a finder and a collector, and we have him receiving some packages up there. You'll see to Larry, because again, even if you don't have a musical instrument, we want to make sure that you're represented and feel well at home at the Critter Club. Another thing that we were doing to really get kids familiar with those characters and make everyone know exactly who they are was we started developing these carved critter medallions that celebrate some of the clusters, and this is the first one we have over here, celebrating those characters. And helping kids know the names of those characters as well, because we don't really have the opportunity to make that connection on the attraction, but we're sure going to make that connection here. And we're going to do it in a number of different ways. And again, the first one is really on those critter medallions, and then later around the room you'll see their names on the albums and the album art as well, and the posters outside, of course. So let's shift over this way, and directly behind you, behind our cash wrap, you can see the Critter stage. So this is really the heart and soul of Lewis's Critter Club. This is where those critters that you just met on Tiana's Bayou Adventure will come and play in the evenings. This is their jazz club, and of course this is the performance stage. Now, it's a smaller one. You'll notice that Lewis's door over there, he'd be too big to go on that stage, so he would perform next to it. But the smaller characters, you'll see we've got their dressing room doors adjacent to it. So it's your chance to meet Timoleon, Apollo and Rufus. Even around on the sides, I think Bo's dressing room door is just around here on the corner. Just a perfect possum-sized door. Our familiar POS has been rebranded for instrument storage. Those are those same homemade musical instruments that you'll see the critters have made and they're performing with in the attraction. We wanted to make sure they were represented here as well. You'll even notice that we've got a little ladder behind that mannequin over there for Timoleon to kind of scurry up to get to his dressing room. Now just to the right of the stage, we've got some more of our props, including what looks like someone's collecting bottles or glass bottles, and they are. The critters do have another friend that's here to see what goes on at the Critter Club, and that's Mama Odie. She's got her own viewing box just on the other side, and they're collecting bottles for Mama Odie because she likes that as part of her decor. So we took inspiration directly from the movie, from Mama Odie's house, to decorate her viewing box for the stage. Of course, she's got the best seats in the house, directly across from the stage. And if you're nice and quiet, you'll notice that Juju's over there sleeping as well. So don't wake Juju. That'd be a bad move. Another thing we introduced for the area was anyone who's familiar with our Disney stores that were in the malls, we have what we call a plush mountain, where we'd have a big mountain of plush. So we're like, well, we don't have a plush mountain here. We are going to have plush trees though. So adjacent to our Lewis plush, you'll notice we got a couple of trees where the critters are actually up there hanging out and sleeping. That's Lewis's tree off to the right. We've got Rufus and Apollo and Bo are up in the other tree. It's a lot of fun and a great bit of inspiration. Now, here's a little behind the Imagineering note, is when we were developing this site, we were interested in bringing these trees in here to make it feel a little more natural for the critters, because it's a critter-run shop. And it's kind of tricky to get trees into a building sometime. And we were kind of going back and forth on, hey, is it really worth the effort to do this in the shop space? Well, Kim Irvine and I, who were working on this together, came across some artwork that she found that for an upcoming 70th anniversary show. She was digging through old artwork and found some original artwork from the Imagineers that worked on it in the first place that actually had this tree located in this location, give or take a foot or two. It was like an okay sign from above, right? Where it's like, hey, what you guys were thinking of is the right way to think about it. I believe it was a Dorothea Redmond rendering that had it on there. And we're like, hey, we're in good company. This was a good idea. Let's stick to our guns on this. Anyway, back to the tour. You can see after we visit Mama Odie's box over here, we'll kind of shimmy into the next area where we've got more of our critter medallions. This time introducing best friends Rufus and Apollo, and then Papa and Octavia, the Bobcat players, and of course the family band of Claude, Bernadette, and Sebastian. Now, I had a lot of fun with them. I took a lot of inspiration for their changing room door, which is just behind you, from the old Country Bear Jamboree entrance that used to be here at Disneyland, where we'd have the nesting doors. So the bigger bear, the smaller bear, the baby bear, having the doors over there. It was just something I wanted to play around with, and I think it turned out to a really charming moment. Really like that a lot. more of our albums are posted up on the wall. And then we get a chance to see where some of our characters relax, and that's the Lily Pad Lounge. It was a chance to, again, bring in some of that character some of the characters you meet over at the Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And so you get to see Isabel and Mondo and Philippe and Myra kind of in their natural environment. And I love it that they're having their bug juice. And if you get a close-up look at there, instead of olives on the end of those martini sticks, we've got flies that are actually on there because frogs do what frogs will do. And they're getting ready to enjoy the performances later tonight. So one last parting shot is that, of course, we still have the Pooh Corner shops just behind us. And so we do have a welcome message if you ever get a chance to come over, where Isabel the Frog has a little sign up on the soffit over here that says, "Welcome to Lewis's Critter Club." So you're getting welcomed from all sides. So that's kind of the A to Z on Lewis's Critter Club. I think at this point, we're going to take some questions and maybe break up into smaller groups. And I'll take my cues from Jessica on that. I'll head over this way. And I'll be happy to field any questions. Yeah.
One-on-one interviews. Michael's available for that as well. If you want to look right into your camera and say some fun facts.
Like that. Look at stuff. Look at all the stuff. Or any questions you got? Or?
Yeah, talk about the process from day one. Like, this guy, how does it
Well, okay, so hi there. I'm Michael Dobryzcki. I'm with WDI. Pardon me. I'm with Walt Disney Imagineering. Sorry, guys. I'm with Walt Disney Imagineering Anaheim. I'm the creative director here at Disneyland, and I'm here to show you Lewis's Critter Club. So you're asking me about one of my favorite details, and what I really love is a callback to what this shop used to be. It was part of Pooh's Corner, and we removed a lot of beehives and honey pots throughout the shop, but we did leave a couple of honey pots over here on this cash register or cash wrap, and of course we changed them into flower pots, with bringing in these lilies that are a callback to the Lily Pad Lounge you'll see over on the other side. It's a little bit of something for people who remember the old shop because you know, we're a place of heritage and tradition here at Disneyland, and we always want to remember where we came from.